Wow, Horikoshi actually just trolled all of us. Oh my goodness. So, Boku no Hero chapter 168, it seems that Ayama's not actually the traitor. And even when I was reading this chapter, I believe the title is something like a collection of Ayama's eccentricities. That's what the title is called. But yeah, when I was reading it from the title and just the title of the chapter, I was thinking, yeah, maybe Ayama's not the traitor. This chapter, basically, no, he wasn't. It seems like instead of being more of a traitor, he's just more of a, he's actually just a weird guy. And yeah, I wouldn't say it's anticlimactic in this sense. I'm just have to really give it props to Horikoshi because at first, at face value, it could just seem like a normal gag kind of chapter, just a normal class 1A, everyone just having fun. But for one, it really just surprises me in a lot of senses. It surprises me in one aspect of how Horikoshi is able to dedicate a whole entire chapter to not the main character. You know, shonen chapters, shonen series don't really do that a lot. Most times they always focus in on the main character. But however, Horikoshi's going in on Ayama. And we know Horikoshi, we know that he likes to give a lot of his characters screen time. But the fact that it's someone like Ayama, it's not someone like Ida, it's not someone like Kirishima who is more to the front, who is more of the major characters. It's Ayama. It's like Horikoshi giving a whole chapter to freaking Sato or like Zero. So it's kind of awesome to show you that Horikoshi cares about all his characters, and even the most characters that you feel like may not get the shine, they probably will. This is giving you a lot of hope for those characters. So if you want a chapter on like Toru, the Invisible Girl, we probably would get something like that. You know, I'm thinking of the anime. We got a whole episode dedicated to Froppy, Suyu-chan. So like, just even thinking of that, it's just really awesome how this series is so much more than Deku. Like, it really is, and that's really awesome to think. And, you know, I'm just thinking about my last video, about just how awesome you guys were just commenting on it and liking it. It was amazing. And I was just looking through the comments, and it's like, Horikoshi trolled all of us. Like, some people were saying that it was obviously Toga, it was a traitor. Some people were saying that he was like a yandere, or he was gay for Deku. I don't think that is now. I just think that I think he's simply just so eccentric, and that's just his character's personality. But this chapter was a little bit odd, not gonna lie. There were some scenes in this chapter where I was reading and I was just like, wait, what? Did I just like, what? So, I don't know. Part of me feels like maybe Ayama just is a weird guy, but come on. That scene when he did the naval laser through that wall. Like, if that wasn't an innuendo to Deku, I don't know what is. So yeah, that was a little bit odd right there. But aside from that, let's actually talk about the point of the whole video which I want to address. And that's actually incompatible quirks. This is so interesting. And I'm just thinking back on the previous couple of chapters when Horikoshi brought up the point of how, you know, as the generations keep developing, kids who have quirks, they're much stronger than kids from a couple of years back at that same age. So we're getting the whole point about, you know, there's different attributes to quirks. We're in a society where now that, for example, someone that was Bakugo at his age of like age 4 or 5, when he was using his quirk, it was just little sparks. But someone equivalent at that age now, their quirk would be much more stronger than it was than like Bakugo's at that time. That's what we're going through right now, and we're going through something else about extreme anomalies and oddities. For example, Deku is an anomaly in the sense that, yeah, he was born without a quirk, but there are also some people that are born with quirks that aren't compatible. Now, I'm intrigued to find out if that's meaning incompatible with their DNA, or what else is that going to mean? Does that mean that it just doesn't truly flourish, or it doesn't truly activate as well? It's not as, I was going to say comfortable, but, you know, it's not as coherent as others. For example, Ayama's just the perfect case, as he was explaining in this chapter. He was saying something along the lines that he had to always wear this support belt since he was a kid. And I know some people was actually bringing off a certain theory. Some people were actually saying that Ayama was quirkless. Because he was always because of the support belt. Because when you think back, he was wearing that support belt even like during the exams of getting into the school. So it wasn't just, you know, because when you got into the school, you can go to the what's it called, to like the costume department or like the department of support, and they can build you like hero costumes, and they can tech you up, they can, you know, kit you out. So it wasn't like that. No, Aoyama always had the support belt from the start of the series. So that was really interesting, and that got some people thinking, maybe he's quirkless. But that's not actually the case. He just generally does have a quirk, but it's just not it's not compatible. It's not, I was going to say not configured correctly, but that's the wrong term to use as well. Let's just say it's not the best. It doesn't perform the best. You know, he says that it's always been leaking out. He can't control it. I saw some people on the Reddit likening it to Cyclops, in the sense that Cyclops always needs to use his visors, otherwise it'll just always come out. Or maybe his brother, what's his name? Havoc. In the sense of how he can't really control it as well. It's kind of like that to an extent, but yeah. Aoyama can't control his quirk, and ever since he saw Deku, and Deku can't really control it, his bones are always breaking and that, he seemed to get better along the way. Aoyama began to think, okay, this guy's similar to me. And it's really interesting how Horikoshi kind of built that up from throughout the start of the, you know, the start of the series. I remember in the exam arc when there was a flashback of him with his mum saying, why am I not like the others? And now that makes much more sense, in a sense, like, why isn't my quirk working like the others? Why does my quirk hurt me so much, you know? So, yeah, that it really is an interesting thing. It makes me actually seem to think, what else? We know there's a lot of downsides to quirks, because quirks are like the extension of your muscles, it's the extension of yourself. So there are some downsides. For example, Ochako's, you know, she feels nauseated. Who else? Todoroki, like, he has to regulate the fire and eyesight. Otherwise, you know, like, he feels it himself. He's not like, his body isn't a thermal regulator. You know, if he uses the cold side too much, he gets cold. If he uses the hot side too much, he gets hot. Stuff like that. So it really made me think of that. Now, other than that, throughout the chapter, nothing else really happened. But I really want to touch upon just a couple of the interactions between the characters in this chapter. One was Bakugo and Deku, and that was really interesting. You know, Bakugo asks Deku, have you improved? Have you gotten better? And Deku says no. And then Bakugo kind of taunts him, saying, I thought you were supposed to surpass me. You know, that's pretty awesome, because it shows you that their relationship really is growing and improving, and it's more of a rivalry right now. In the way that Bakugo was saying it, I'm taking that as a pardon me. I'm taking that as a encouraging kind of way, but also seems like kind of convicting Deku in a sense, like, what are you doing, man? You're supposed to be getting better, you know, keep going at it. And this really is sad from Deku's point of view, like from our readers' perspective, because Deku is getting better. I feel like Deku really is too hard on himself. He managed to get to 20%. Of course, he didn't manage to get it safely. It's not a 20% that he can always use, but at least he was able to do something. It was a step in the right direction. But Deku basically says, not at all. I haven't improved in the slightest. In fact, I'm basically at the same stage. I'm stagnant. I don't take it as that way. I take it that Deku has taken a step in the right direction. In fact, I take it that Deku's actually leveled up a little bit. Although, yeah, he can't use 10%. He's probably still on 8%. But he knows the limits of his quirk, and he knows where he can work to. And I feel like he needs to celebrate the small wins. I feel like that's what Deku needs to do. And I think All Might's going to come in with that, because we know All Might is Deku's teacher, so All Might may have to kind of mentor him and encourage him in that aspect. But yeah, this chapter, Deku's got a new friend, Aoyama. And Aoyama was encouraging Deku. I feel like maybe those two, they can help each other out, because when I was throughout me reading this chapter, I was thinking, are we going to see in the future with Aoyama developing his quirk? Or is his quirk just totally incompatible? It's just not going to work with his body? Only time can tell. So basically, yeah, that was pretty much it throughout this chapter. You know, we saw little bits with Kirishima, how he was keep thinking of Rapper. Fam, I just love Rapper so much. Oh my gosh, he is just awesome. But like, I really love how Kirishima's like putting Rapper as an obstacle. He's just like, I need to surpass you. Like, that's one of his goals, and it's really awesome. But other than that, this chapter was amazing. It wasn't anticlimactic, but it was more of a troll, like, Oh my gosh. I know, like, me included, I just want to get this traitor thing in and out of the way. And the thing is, though, this is what is making it a little bit, like, mind-boggling, a bit jarring. Why would Horikoshi in the previous chapter in the editorial note say, sorry for the wait? Because that's implying something that we all know, you know? The way that Horikoshi said it in the last chapter, he said, that man finally makes his move, sorry for the wait. Now, that implies... it implies a theme, or it implies a plot point that we're all aware of. And the plot point that we were all aware of was the traitor theory. And that's what we thought it was. Well, obviously this was a red herring. It was a misdirection. We thought Horikoshi was going to bring up the traitor theory, but he didn't. He just brought up something else that had to be addressed in Aoma's character. However, I do feel like very soon we're going to get this traitor theory. I feel like it's going to get debunked, or I feel like it's going to get revealed. I don't know, but I feel like this was a red herring because Horikoshi, it really is actually doing something with the traitor theory behind the scene. So guys, please tell me your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked anything that I had to say, please drop a like. That would be greatly appreciated. And I'll see you next week for that chapter that is 169. What did you think of this chapter? Are you surprised at what happened this chapter? Are you a little bit underwhelmed at the fact that it wasn't a traitor theory? It was just, you know, Aoyama being weird. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time. Peace out, guys, and goodbye.